Welcome to It's English Podcast. I'm Brian, and I'm so happy to have you here. Let's learn English the easy and fun way together.
Have you ever felt nervous speaking English? Don't worry, you are not alone. In today's lesson, we are going to learn everyday vocabulary that will make you sound natural and confident. Make sure to stay until the end for our special word tour practice. Let's dive in.
Okay, real quick. How many unfinished things do you have on your phone right now? Like apps you downloaded but never opened, shows you started but stopped after 2 episodes?
Oh no, why are you doing this to me right now?
Because I counted mine this morning, and, it was bad.
Okay, how bad?
14 things I started and just stopped. Just gone, like they never existed.
Okay, wow, that is a lot, but honestly, I think everyone does this. I really do.
Right, and that's exactly what we're talking about today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to It's English Podcast. I'm Mary.
And I'm Brian, and if you are new here, welcome. We are so happy you found us.
This podcast is for English learners. We talk about real-life topics, we speak naturally, and we help you learn new vocabulary too.
So it's like hanging out with friends, but you also learn English. Haha.
Exactly. The best kind of learning, right?
So today's topic is something I think every single person listening can relate to.
Oh yes, for sure. We're talking about why we start things but never finish them.
The gym, the online course, the book that's been on the nightstand for 8 months.
The book. Brian, why did you have to say the book?
I said it because we've all been there. We start with so much energy.
So much energy. Like, this is it. This is the year. I'm going to change everything.
And then week 2 hits, and suddenly you're like, maybe not this year.
Yes, next year. Definitely next year.
But here's the thing, right? This is not about being lazy. This is so much more interesting than that.
There's real psychology behind this. There are real reasons, and that's what we're going to dig into today.
And at the end, we have our famous word tour, 10 advanced vocabulary words related to today's topic.
So stay with us until the end. Trust me, you don't want to miss that part, okay? Let's go.
So, Mary, let's just start simple. When did you last stop something in the middle?
Okay, honestly, last month, I signed up for a drawing class.
Oh, I did not know that about you. A drawing class.
Yeah, I was so excited. I bought new pencils, a sketchbook, the nice one, not the cheap one.
Of course, the nice one. Haha.
And I went to 2 classes. 2. And then I just stopped.
What happened after class 2?
Honestly, nothing dramatic. I just got busy, or I told myself I was busy.
Right. That's such an important thing. I told myself I was busy.
Yeah, because sometimes we're not actually that busy. We just don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Ooh, say more about that.
Well, in class 1, I was just having fun. Everything was new and exciting. But in class 2, I started to see that I wasn't very good, and that felt bad.
Ah, yes, there it is. The moment when the excitement goes away and the hard work starts.
Exactly, and that's when most people quit,
There's actually a name for this. It's called the Valley of Despair. It's the point right after you start something when things get hard and boring and you feel like you're going nowhere.
Oh, wow, that's so accurate. The Valley of Despair? Yeah.
And most people, they see that valley and they turn around and go home.
Instead of walking through it to get to the other side.
Because the other side, that's where the real skill is. That's where you actually get good at something.
So, Brian, you said 14 things this morning. What's the biggest one, the one you feel most guilty about?
Guilty, that's the right word. Okay, mine is learning guitar. I've started 3 times, 3 separate times.
3 times?
And I still have the guitar. It's in my room. It watches me every morning. It's judging me.
The guitar is judging you. I love that.
But I think I know why I kept stopping. Every time I started, I imagined myself playing on stage, performing for people.
Oh, big dreams right away.
Huge dreams. And then I had to practice the same chord for an hour, the same chord over and over. and it was just not that dream.
Right, the gap between the dream and the reality.
Exactly. And I think that gap is why so many people quit.
I read something about this. There's a difference between wanting to have done something and wanting to do something.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you mean?
Like, I wanted to be a person who draws. I wanted to have that skill. But did I actually enjoy the process of drawing? Not really. Not when it was hard.
So we fall in love with the result, not the journey.
Yes, and that's a big problem because the journey is 99% of it.
And another thing, I think social media makes this worse because we see other people's results all the time. We never see their boring practice sessions.
Oh, that's so true. You see someone playing guitar beautifully on Instagram and you think, I want that, but you don't see the 5 years of practice behind it.
We compare their chapter 20 to our chapter 1, and that's not fair to ourselves.
And it makes us feel like we're failing when we're actually just beginning.
What about fear? Do you think fear is a big reason people don't finish things?
Oh, absolutely. I think fear is maybe the biggest reason, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
When you quit in the middle, you can always say, well, I didn't really try. But if you finish something and it's not good, then you have to face that truth.
Oh, wow. So quitting is a way to protect yourself from failure.
Exactly. I could have been great, I just didn't finish. That thought feels safer than I finished and it wasn't very good.
That's really deep, Mary, and I think a lot of people do that without even knowing it.
Yeah, it's totally unconscious. It's not like people wake up and say, I will protect my ego today by quitting my guitar lessons.
Right, it just happens.
And perfectionism is connected to this too. If you have a very high standard for yourself, starting something new feels scary because you know you won't be perfect at it yet.
So perfectionists sometimes don't even start, or they start and the moment something is imperfect,
They stop.
because imperfect feels like failure to them.
Yeah, and that's so sad because imperfect is how everything begins.
There's also the thing about too many options. We have so many things we could learn, do, try.
So we start many things and commit to nothing.
Exactly. It's like going to a buffet. You take a little bit of everything, but you never really enjoy any one dish.
That's a perfect analogy. The buffet of life.
And another big one, dopamine. Our brains love starting things because starting feels good. There's excitement, novelty, hope.
All the good chemicals are flowing.
But then the novelty wears off, the dopamine drops, and suddenly it just feels like work.
Right, and our brain says, hey, you know what would give us that nice feeling again? Starting something new.
So we become addicted to beginnings.
Yes, addicted to beginnings. That is such a good way to say it.
And it's not entirely our fault. Our brains are wired this way. We're designed to notice new things.
But we live in a world that encourages this even more. New apps, new trends, new challenges every week on social media.
So the culture around us is always saying, start this, try that, new, new, new. And finishing something quietly, privately, there's no celebration for that.
Ah, that's such a good point. Nobody posts, day 200 of guitar practice. I'm still not very good, but I'm better than yesterday.
No, that doesn't go viral.
But maybe it should, because that's the real story. That's the real work.
So how do we fix this? How do we actually break the cycle?
Okay, that's the perfect question. Let's move into our tips section because we have some really good ones today. Okay, tip number 1, and this one sounds simple, but it's actually very powerful. Make your goal smaller, much smaller than you think.
Oh, I like this one. Tell us more.
So when we start something, we usually think big. I will exercise every day for an hour. I will read 50 books this year. I will learn a new language in 6 months.
And those goals are a lot.
They're huge. And when life gets busy, we can't do the big goal. And then we feel like we failed. And then we stop completely.
Right. It's all or nothing thinking.
Exactly. So instead, make the goal so small that it's almost embarrassing. I will do 5 minutes of exercise. I will read 2 pages. I will practice 5 sentences of my new language.
But does that actually work? 5 minutes of exercise doesn't sound like much.
It works because the goal isn't really the 5 minutes. The goal is building the habit, showing up, doing it every day.
Ah, so the small goal lowers the barrier to starting.
Yes, and once you start, you often do more than 5 minutes anyway. But even if you only do 5 minutes, that's still a win. You still showed up.
I love that. Never miss twice is another version of this idea, right? If you miss one day, okay, but don't miss 2 in a row.
Exactly. 1 miss is an accident. 2 misses is a new habit forming, the wrong habit.
So make the goal tiny. Make it so easy you can do it on your worst day.
Perfect. That's tip 1.
Okay, tip number 2 is one of my favorites. Connect your goal to your identity, not just your results.
Ooh, say more. What does that mean?
So there's a big difference between saying, I want to run a marathon, and saying, I am a runner.
Yeah, the first one is a goal. The second one is who you are.
Right, and when something is part of your identity, quitting feels wrong. It doesn't feel like I stopped doing a thing. It feels like I betrayed who I am.
Oh, that's powerful. So if I say I am someone who draws instead of I want to learn to draw,
Every time you draw, even badly, you are reinforcing that identity. You're collecting proof that the statement is true.
and every time you skip it, you're collecting proof that the statement is false, and that actually feels uncomfortable.
Exactly. So the question becomes less, did I practice today? And more, am I acting like the person I believe I am?
Wow, I really like that. So how do you start? Like, how do you build that new identity?
Small actions, every day. The identity comes after the actions, not before them. You don't wait to feel like a runner, you run, and then you become a runner.
Right, you don't have to feel motivated first. You just have to act first. The feeling comes after.
Yes, action before motivation, not motivation before action. That's the secret most people get backwards.
So, tip 2, think about who you want to be, not just what you want to achieve. Tip 3, and this one is one that I personally need to work on. Reduce friction. Make the thing you need to do as easy as possible to start.
Oh yes, this is about removing obstacles.
So, like if you want to exercise in the mornings, put your gym shoes next to your bed the night before. Don't make yourself search for them when you're tired.
Right, or if you want to read more, don't leave your phone on the nightstand. Put the book there instead. Remove the competition.
Exactly. Our environment shapes our behavior so much more than we think.
We like to think we have strong willpower, but honestly, willpower is limited. It gets tired, just like a muscle.
So the goal is to not rely on willpower at all. You design your environment so the good behavior is the easy behavior.
If you want to eat healthier, put fruit on the counter and put the chips in a hard-to-reach place.
If you want to practice English every day, set an alarm. Put the app on the first page of your phone. Make it the path of least resistance.
Yeah, because the hard thing about continuing a habit is often not the habit itself, it's all the little steps before the habit that feel annoying.
Right, finding your gym bag, driving there, finding parking, changing clothes. By the time you get to the actual exercise, you've already used up a lot of your mental energy.
So cut those steps as much as you can. The easier the start, the more likely you are to show up.
Tip 3, design your environment for success. Remove the friction.
And tip 4, this one is maybe the most emotional one. Learn to fall in love with being a beginner.
Oh, I love this one, but it's also really hard, right?
It's hard because our culture celebrates expertise. We celebrate the master, the champion, the expert. We don't celebrate the beginner.
But every single expert was once a beginner. There is no other way.
Exactly. And being a beginner means you're growing. It means every day you know more than you knew yesterday.
There's a Japanese concept called shoshin. It means beginner's mind. It's the idea that even experts should approach their subject with openness and curiosity, like a beginner would.
Wow, so even experienced people try to keep that feeling of being new to something.
Yes, because experts can become rigid. They think they know everything. But beginners, they ask questions, they experiment. They're not afraid to try things differently.
So being a beginner is actually a superpower, not a weakness.
Yes, a superpower. And I think if we can hold on to that feeling, I'm learning and that is wonderful, then the discomfort of being bad at something doesn't feel as threatening.
Instead of, ugh, I'm so bad at this, you say, wow, I'm so new at this. Look how much room I have to grow.
That's a completely different relationship with the process. I love it. So, tip 4, change how you see being a beginner. It's not embarrassing, it's exciting. It means you're alive and growing.
All right, great tips, everyone. Make the goal small, connect it to your identity, reduce friction, and love being a beginner.
Write those down, seriously. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. All right, everyone, it's time for our word tour. Let's look at 10 advanced words related to today's topic. These words are B2 to C1 level, so they're a little more challenging, but Mary and I will make them super clear for you.
Get your notebooks out or your phone notes, whatever works for you. Let's go. Procrastination.
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 Our first word is procrastination.
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 Procrastination means the act of delaying or putting off something that you need to do. You keep saying, I'll do it later, and later never comes.
Example 1. My procrastination is the reason my kitchen is still not painted. I said I'd do it in January.
And now it's almost the end of the year. Example 2, he struggled with procrastination at university. He always wrote his essays the night before they were due.
Oh, that's so relatable. I was that student. I will not lie.
Our next word is perseverance. Perseverance. Perseverance.
Perseverance means the quality of continuing to do something even when it's very difficult. You don't give up, you keep going.
Example 1. Her perseverance in learning English is truly inspiring. She practices every single day, no excuses.
Example 2. Finishing a marathon requires not just physical fitness, but real perseverance.
Perseverance is what separates people who finish from people who quit. It's the superpower of the finisher.
Number 3. Motivation.
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 Motivation is the reason or reasons that make you want to do something. It's the why behind your actions.
Example 1. She had a lot of motivation at the start of the project, but after a few weeks, it started to disappear.
Example 2. His main motivation for learning French was to speak with his girlfriend's family.
Ah, that's sweet. And that's a great point. Having a personal, emotional motivation is much stronger than a general one.
I want to be healthy is okay. I want to be healthy to run around with my kids is much more powerful.
Word 4. Discipline.
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 Discipline. Discipline is the ability to make yourself do something even when you don't feel like doing it. Unlike motivation, discipline doesn't depend on how you feel.
Example 1. It takes a lot of discipline to wake up at 5 in the morning to study before work.
Example 2. She didn't always feel like writing, but her discipline meant she wrote at least 200 words every morning.
And you know there's a saying, motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. I really believe that.
Yes, that's one of my favorite quotes. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the fuel.
Halfway there. Word 5 is resilience.
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 Resilience is the ability to recover quickly after something bad happens. Like a rubber band, it stretches, but it comes back to its shape.
Example 1. After failing her exam 3 times, her resilience helped her study harder and finally pass.
Example 2. Building resilience means accepting that failure is part of the process, not the end of the road.
Right, and resilience is so connected to today's topic. People who finish things have high resilience. They fall and they get back up.
Absolutely. They don't see a bad week as a reason to quit. They see it as part of the journey.
Word 6, overwhelm. Now, this can be a verb or a noun.
Overwhelm.
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 To overwhelm someone means to give them more than they can handle. Too many things, too much stress, too much information. You feel like you're drowning.
Example 1. The sheer number of online courses available can overwhelm people so much that they end up choosing nothing.
Example 2, she felt completely overwhelmed in her first week of the new job. There was too much to learn at once.
Yeah, overwhelm is the enemy of action. When everything feels too big, doing nothing feels easier.
And that's why tip 1, making the goal smaller, directly fights overwhelm. Small steps, not giant leaps.
Word 7. A big one. Accountability.
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 Accountability means taking responsibility for your actions. If you said you would do something, you follow through, and you own the results, good or bad.
Example 1, having an accountability partner, someone who checks on your progress, can make a huge difference when trying to build a new habit.
Example 2. He struggled with accountability because he never told anyone about his goals, so there was no external pressure to continue.
Ooh, that's a good point. Telling other people your goal is a form of accountability. It's scary, but it works.
Right, because then you're not just letting yourself down, you're letting other people down, and most of us don't want to do that.
Word 8, commitment.
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 Commitment means a strong promise to yourself or others to keep doing something, even when it's difficult. It's deeper than interest. It's a decision you stand by.
Example 1. Finishing a novel requires months of commitment, writing even on the days when you feel uninspired.
Example 2, her commitment to learning English meant she watched English shows every evening, even when she was tired.
And there's a great distinction here. Interest says, I'll do it when it's convenient. Commitment says, I'll do it no matter what.
Yes, that distinction is so important. A lot of people are interested in things. Far fewer are truly committed. Penultimate, that means second to last. Word 9, complacency.
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 Complacency is a feeling of being satisfied with where you are, even if you should be working to improve. You stop pushing, you get comfortable and lazy.
Example 1. After years of success, the company fell into complacency and stopped innovating, and slowly competitors overtook them.
Example 2. Don't let early progress lead to complacency. The first few weeks of a new habit are just the beginning.
Yeah, complacency is sneaky. It doesn't feel bad, it feels comfortable. That's what makes it dangerous.
Exactly. Comfort is the enemy of growth, which is a really scary thought. Haha.
A little uncomfortable, but true. And our final word, word 10, is my personal favorite. Tenacity.
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 Tenacity. Tenacity means holding on to something firmly and refusing to give up, even when things are very hard. It's stubborn, determined courage, the bulldog spirit.
Example 1. It was her tenacity, not just her talent, that got her through medical school.
Example 2, he pursued his dream of becoming a professional musician with tenacity, performing for years in small venues before he got his big break.
You know, I love this word because it sounds like what it means. Tenacity. It feels strong. It feels unbreakable.
It really does, and tenacity is the thread that runs through every person who has ever finished something great. It's the word that summarizes everything we talked about today.
Be tenacious, everyone. That's it. That's the whole lesson.
And that's your word tour. 10 beautiful, powerful words. Let's do a super quick review.
Procrastination, perseverance, motivation, discipline, resilience, overwhelm, accountability, commitment, complacency, tenacity.
Say those out loud, write them down, use them in a sentence today. That's how they stick.
Okay, so before we say goodbye, let's just take a breath and think about what we talked about today.
Yeah, because I think today's topic is something that really stays with you.
We all start things with so much hope and energy, and then life gets in the way, or the excitement fades, or it gets hard.
And we stop, and we feel a little bit bad about it. And then we start something new, and the whole cycle repeats.
But here's what I want you to take away from today. That cycle is not a character flaw. It's not because you are weak or lazy or not good enough.
It's because you are human, and your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do.
The trick is to work with your brain. Make things smaller, make them easier, make them personal.
And be kind to yourself when you stumble. One missed day is not the end. It's just a bad day.
The question is not, will I ever stumble? The question is, how quickly will I get back up?
That's resilience. That's tenacity. That's everything.
And that one thing you've been putting off, the course, the book, the hobby, the goal, it's still there waiting for you. It's not too late.
It's never too late. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.
Yes, right now. Close this podcast and go do the thing, even for 5 minutes.
Well, after you subscribe first, then go do the thing.
Yes, Brian is right. Please subscribe to It's English Podcast on YouTube if you haven't already. It really helps us so much.
And hit the like button on this video. It tells YouTube that this content is helpful, and it helps more English learners find us.
And share this episode with a friend who's learning English. Or honestly, share it with a friend who keeps quitting things. This message is for everyone.
And we have a question for you, our favorite part. We want to hear from you in the comments.
Here is today's question. What is one thing you started but never finished? And what do you think stopped you?
Be honest. We're a safe space here. You know, Mary and I have both shared our embarrassing, unfinished things today.
The guitar and the drawing class, both very much unfinished.
So tell us yours. We want to read every single comment. We really do.
And also, this week, try to use at least 3 of today's vocabulary words in real life, in a sentence, in a conversation, in your journal.
Discipline, perseverance, tenacity. Pick your favorites.
All right, beautiful people, that is a wrap on today's episode of It's English Podcast.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. It genuinely means the world.
Keep learning, keep growing, and remember,
Every expert was once a beginner. See you next time.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. Don't forget to keep practicing, and I will see you in our next lesson.